Welcome to my multi-part look at the Predator series, celebrating its 35th anniversary. Let's get started and open up 1987's Predator. Directed by John McTiernan, and who would helm Die Hard the following year, the film went through multiple iterations before we got the one we saw. The design of the top character was entirely different, and even had Jean-Claude Van Damme as a body double before he moved on to other projects, including his Bloodsport. It's another textbook example of film being saved in the editing room, with distinctive pacing being a result of that. The open and Alan Silvestri's score playing over the opening credits. The basic plot is a squad of guerrilla soldiers assigned to search and rescue in the jungles of Central America. And a counter threat like nothing I've ever encountered before. Two standouts are the leads. Dutch play Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dylan play Carl Weathers. The romantic handshake is among the many memorable scenes in the film before the shots are fired. As for the line that Cooper, played by Jesse Ventura, speaks as he bites into some chew, not only was it a different time, but it's definitely very tongue-in-cheek, as are many lines scripted by GM and John Thomas. Other members of the unit include Elliot, played by Bill Duke, Soul, played by Sonny Landham, and Hawkins, played by Shane Black. I'll come back to him later in this marathon, as he tends to do more directing than acting sense. Their pilots by Kevin Peter Hall, who is also Predator's body double. And before the Predator enters the space, the direction does a great job establishing a sense of uncertainty and dread in its atmosphere. It's not that there isn't action, but it's earned deliberately by drawing the audience into the setting instead of hammering them submission. 7 points. Souls finds what's left to search party that came before them flayed alive and realize whatever did this to them is not to be dealt with lightly. We also get some shots of Predator's point of view, which shows the team's thermal signatures. Dutch and his unit reach a camp of insurgents and signals the team to move in. The team is previously mentioned to have toured in Vietnam, and it's not the only parallel this movie will have to the conflict either. Dutch knocks on their door with the truck they're using as a makeshift irrigation system, and the ensuing gunfight is fantastic. Extracting the hostages from the camp, Dutch realizes something's amiss, though he still intends to complete the mission and get the hostages to safety. Trying to escape, Hawkins is killed. Any element of horror as well. What one doesn't see is most important is what one does. Cooper's next one to go, getting hit by one of the Predator's traps. I also like the story behind the scene of the team quick-firing in the jungle. When execs at Fox demanded their action scene, Director responded by adding the scene in question. They never noticed that they'd been zinged. I always kind of like that response to their demands. Amazingly, we don't actually get a good look at the Predator until the halfway point in the movie. Their design left something to be desired. The late Stan Winston was able to completely redesign the creature and its armor into something genuinely frightening and memorable. Both the imposing stance and amount of weapons at the Predator's disposal are impressive. As night falls is also where the non-parable really sets in. An invader's superior weapons technology is faced with opponents who have key tactical advantages. However, where the movie flips the script is that the villainous Predator has all the weapons and tech, the heroes have the tactical advantages, especially Dutch. Gets the details out of the hostage, whose name's Anna, by the way, leading to this line: if it bleeds, we can kill it. Prepping the staging grounds to draw out the Predator, they damage its cloaking device, and they need to finish off before extraction. Dylan and Duke realize to meet up with his Elliot again right before the latter is killed. Dylan finds what's left of Elliot and is losing arm to Predator before ultimately going down fighting. Soul decides to take Predator head on, drawing his own blood with his knife to distract it. Only Dutch remains, yelling a number member called Anna. Get to the chopper! Final fight begins, and Dutch covers himself in mud to conceal his body heats. The Predator is unmasked. As for the last fight, and given the famous mandibles of sports, it audience definitely share Dutch's remark: "You're one ugly motherfucker." Since the rear shorted out Predator's weapons and armor, the final fight is on the playing field, face to face, eye to eye. Nothing but a skilled soldier and the gave from his fallen comrades. Dutch proves more than match of Predator. So go to the beast to finish him off, and emerges victorious as he sets off the trap he laid earlier. The Predator goes laughing mad, setting off a self-destruct on its wrist, film closing and Dutch being extracted. I will just say this about the smoke and fire he's standing in. Make your own assumptions. The film has stood the test of time as a sci-fi action classic. The film made nearly $60 million in the US and over $98 million worldwide on its $15 million budget. First saw it when I was 8, and I've seen it numerous times since then. Been wanting to look at it. I had to start this marathon by ages. I'm glad I finally have. My final rating is 4 out of 4. The marathon continues next time I look at Predator 2. My least favorite entry in the franchise. That will be all for now. Take care.